Okay, now this guy, you don't know who he is, right?
No, I don't.
Outspoken Flint City Councilman Eric Mays dies. He's one of the guys who made sure that the water
In Flint?
is being cleaned up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's still, I heard they're still messed up. They still fighting for that. Does that make sense? To live in 2024 in America and people still got bad water.
What's the problem? They haven't approved the money.
The infrastructure,
it's a lot of money. Okay.
But they can send millions of dollars over to Ukraine and Israel.
Yeah, and people in our own backyard,
in our own country,
don't have water.
Don't have good running water.
Yes. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Usually you take care of home first.
Thank you.
Before you go outside the neighborhood.
So that's ridiculous. But anyway, the city of Flint is mourning the loss of outspoken Councilman Eric Mays, who died Saturday. The city announced Mays' death Saturday evening. He was 65, and it was attributed to natural causes after an illness.
Wow.
Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely says Mays' bold, courageous service made him beloved among his constituents in the First Ward. Strong presence will be missed at City Hall. Mm-hmm. He reminds me, and sort of put you in the head remind of the councilman you like. Wears the suits. I'm not saying any names. That wears the different suits.
Oh,
okay. He loves his ward.
Yeah,
that's this guy.
Yeah, he takes care of his ward.
I take care of my kids. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I always do that. I don't know where I got that from, but I always do that.
Can you find out?
I don't know.
Where you pick that up from?
I don't know, but I always do that.
Takes care of my kids. That's how every alderman, and that's okay. This is getting me to...
If every alderman did it, we would be great, wouldn't we?
This is getting me to preach. Alderman, senator...
Thank you.
Congressmen... Mayors. Don't think of the money in your pocket being full and people voting for you the next election. Can you really start caring about the people?
No.
That the community that you're in, if the alderman come... Ooh, I love when I can get on the phone and call my alderman and say, blah, blah, blah. I'll make it happen.
You know what happens? And I think, and I pray that it doesn't happen to us. You start off thinking good. Like, I'm going to tell it like it is. Mm-hmm. I don't care who, whatever. And then all of a sudden, somebody says, hey, I'll sponsor your show or I'll give you some money. Then you don't talk so bad about them anymore. It's like, they're not that bad because they giving you thousands and thousands of dollars.
At the time they're giving it to you, they're okay.
But then they mess up.
Then they start getting messy.
We've
already got a connection with them.
Perfect example. Oh. We was talking about Corey Holcomb, the comedian. Mm-hmm. And he says he's a tell it like it is comedian. He tells he don't care who you are, he gonna tell it. Mm-hmm. And a guy came on his show and said, you don't talk about Kevin Hart and you don't talk about Nick Cannon. Because he's on Wild 'N Out. Oh. Corey's on Wild 'N Out.
He's not going to bite the hand that feeds him.
And Kevin has blessed him with money and stuff.
Oh.
And Corey said, I talk about them. And everybody on the show was like,
yeah, right.
No, you don't.
Negro.
So please. I don't know how much you can or somebody you know. What if you know the person? You're not as mean to them as you are to everybody else. That's how I feel. Howard Stern isn't the same Howard Stern in the beginning because he's more celebrity now. And people call in and say, you're not even Howard Stern anymore. You've gone to lunch with Jimmy Kimmel and all these other guys. Yeah. So you're nice. You're not going to rip them apart. You don't want to
burn bridges now that bridges have been built.
Yeah. So Wendy Williams would always say, this brings us back to Wendy Williams. Mm-hmm. She would try not to go out and hang out with people because she didn't want it to mess up
any kind of...
She didn't want it to mess up how she talks about them.
Exactly. But you know what? They said she got a little rougher after the situation with her husband and the lady having a child.
Oh, okay.
Because her mom said she was never really an assertive person to tell you off and leave me alone kind of person. But she got a little rougher after that.
Well, we'll see.
When we see her
we'll watch it tomorrow. But this guy, Mays, he's a tell it like it is. And they said he never bought into being paid off, like what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
People would offer him thousands and thousands of dollars, and he was like, no. He was like, we're going to get this stuff straightened in Flint. We're going to get this water crisis done. And they did I watched a video of him, and he said, that's just how I am. You're not going to buy me. He was never bought.
I love people, because we have family members too. It's similar, but not quite like him. But I love people with integrity.
That's true.
I don't
think you can buy my integrity. I'm always going to be who I am.
We have family and friends who have been in situations where their integrity was tested.
Yes.
Because of their looks.
Yeah.
Because of their gift.
Yeah.
And they said no.
No.
And I'm so glad and proud that people stand up and you do the right thing.
Yeah.
And you it's almost like when nobody's looking, you still do good.
You still do good.
I love that.
And I think that's how I am. I don't think we can be bought. I hope not.
No.
And what amount of money?
There is not that much money in the world.
You know what? If it's something where I don't think it's a big deal, maybe. Like if you buy me and say, well, don't say nothing, about...
You wouldn't do it. Because you don't like that control.
That's true. You're right.
You don't like nothing hanging over my head.
You are absolutely correct. Because then they'll say, I gave you the money. Why are you talking to me? You can take this money right back and stick it up your butt.
Because if we do let's just say for sake of argument, we made a mistake and said yes to you.
Yes.
And you come at us with a threat, or I'm going to tell everybody if
you can take that money right back.
Take your money back.
You are absolutely correct.
Oh, I hate that.
And you know what? I have been tested.
I
have been tested. In all situations, I've been tested. And I don't care. I don't care how much you pay me and how much a job. Like Eddie Murphy said, I'll get a job at my cousin's cleaners before I listen to you. You're right. I don't like nobody having nothing over my head.
Yes. Just put it out there.
No amount of money.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Oh, integrity.
Integrity.
People are trying to even buy it.
Thank you.
Can't just be real and don't just go for anything.
Thank you.
Especially when it's related with money.
Yes.
So,
and that was this guy. You see, I keep trying to bring it back to this guy.
Okay, I see. Because he is a good alderman. Is that his position? He was an alderman?
We're talking about this guy, We can talk about other stuff.
What we doing.
But back to this guy.
I wouldn't do that. I would make sure that person gets the house fixed up. Oh, okay, going back to him.
But that's what this guy would do.
What's his name? What's his name?
Eric Mays.
Oh, Eric. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry. But I do love people like Eric. He's an alderman.
Yeah,
right?
we're saying all of this basically. That's how he was.
Yes.
It said Mays represented the first ward in Flint City Council for more than 10 years. He was often received the most votes for any of his colleagues on the council, showing his enduring popularity among his constituents.
Good.
So there you go. He was a good guy. He fought for clean water and a whole lot of other things.
All the aldermen should be doing that. Why is it just one guy?
Thank you.
And I'm sure it's not just in his ward, because the whole city of Flint had problems.
During May's tenure as council, Flint went through the water crisis, and the city emerged from state emergency management to resume self-governance. He was among the loudest voices calling for justice. That's why people are talking about him, because he was the face of Flint, Michigan during that water crisis. Okay. Everybody was reporting, asking him. Yeah.
Power to you.
So there you go.
I hope whoever takes his place continues past the baton and that they continue the fight.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's all,
rest in peace.
Yep. Hats off to Eric Mays. Councilman Eric Mays, who I'm sure Trump wouldn't vote for you because you had a mugshot and sell gold tennis shoes. Big dummy.
Because he ain't about that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. DDG. I got to talk about DDG because I love DDG.